All right, here we are. What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, and it is the Death Rattle Podcast. I apologize; it was my fault why we were not live yesterday. So sorry if y'all were trying to tune in on yesterday. Oh, you were live.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't get a notification. I didn't know you were live.
Yeah, I went live. No, I didn't do the podcast because it was just me. So I just went live on the Ghost Pirate channel. But that way, at least most of the people were able to, still have something. And I told that it was also that way I could tell everybody, hey, tune in tomorrow,
Okay. Oh, sweet. All right. Well, cool. Limited Stride is here. Says, hey, is it Wednesday already? it's definitely been and gone. What's going on, Ralph? Good to see you.
What up, Ralph?
We'll talk as people start filing in here. But so I had to take off last night because I had, and I also So there was a pretty famous wrestler was in town last night, and Hulk Hogan.
Really? Promoting his beer?
He's promoting his beer, and he's still in town. He's in another bar. He's in another bar right now, actually. Maybe 20 minutes away from me. But
he's got his own bar down there too, right?
Yeah, he's got his own bar down in Boca, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's somewhere in southern Florida. So he was there, going around promoting his beer. We got free Real American beer, and
how is it?
It tastes like Bud Light.
That's what I've heard.
but what are you expecting, right?
No, I know. Like it's made like he literally has it made by I forget what company it is, but it's like it literally is just made by another beer company. It's just his label.
Right. It's just his label. Yeah.
It's what all famous people do. That's why if I ever have any products, I don't want to do that road. You know what I mean? I want to make like my own product, whatever it is, not like just rebranding, Hey, welcome. What is it? Shane Sinistorm or Sinistar?
Sinistar has been a member for 1 month with a bunch of member logos on the Ghost Pirate side that you can see.
I think that's just renewed something.
Thank you, Sinistar. And Stride, it should be called Brother Beer, not Real American Beer. Like I know why they said it, but like
it's playing up on the it's playing up on the fucking climate of politics right now. Like
you get alliteration. Well, but he's also the
Hogan.
Real American.
Yeah, it's Hogan. Like, so like I get it, but it's still that's why he went with that name.
Yeah. So anyway,
so what did you do? Sorry, I interrupted that.
No, it's okay. So I'm happy you did because I have to pull it up. I'm not I am ill prepared. But that's the show. Wait, what happened? Hello? I had the picture right there.
Bane?
All right.
Yep, horror and shit. Yeah, I think we're talking probably about a lot of random shit today because we couldn't find any decent horror stories.
Yeah,
like the only thing I really saw was yesterday the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer dropped, but I don't want to play that because every time we do, I have to go and re-edit the video, the podcast, and all that because they monetize it every time.
Well, like and we've all already
sometimes
seen
they won't even. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes they won't even let me post it. Like it's one thing when you can't monetize it. It's like we don't make any money from the podcast anyway, but they won't even let me post it on the Ghost Pirate channel. It'll be like blocked.
Hogan's Hangout
in Clearwater. Cut that out. Yeah, that's
sorry.
It. Hey Leslie.
Also hi Leslie. Yeah, and hi everybody. Wolfbane, Mr. Halloween. What's going on? Hi. Yeah. So anyway, so I was out at a bar last night, meeting Hulk Hogan, and I went there, and I thought I would get some special attention, going and paying homage to one of my favorite wrestlers, and there I am.
Oh, because you dressed up as, I can't tell. Who are you dressed up as?
That's Mankind.
Oh, Mankind. There you go. My eyesight sucked. I could tell you were dressed up, but couldn't tell what you were exactly.
So that's Mankind. It's me as Mankind. I got Mr. Sacco and everything.
Yep.
What's going on, Joe Bet? Good to see you.
Did nobody give a fuck?
No, I got a lot of pictures.
Nice.
And I did the voice and everything, and I got some of his one-liners. so I could quote some of his one-liners. But but Hulk
Dave
saw
Foley,
it.
right? That's his real name.
Yeah,
Dave
Mick
Foley.
Foley.
Mick Foley,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Dave Foley's the actor.
Hulk saw it and was like, "Mankind." And I got him
actually acknowledge you. Nice.
Yeah, I got him to sign the mask.
Hell yeah! Did you get a picture with him?
I have a Hulk Hogan signed Mankind mask, so it's worthless.
It is not. It's like,
but I feel like that's something. I feel like that's something Mankind would do, though, right? Mankind would have somebody sign his own mask.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Did you get a picture with him or?
I did. I did, but it's kind of hard to see. Let me go and see if I can't find it, but we'll leave it up there.
Well, either way, that's a great picture. That's cool.
What's going on here? Why can't I?
So was it a fairly small bar?
Yeah, and it was a rooftop bar too. And the only way that he could get around was if he was behind the bar walking around. I mean, it was
so he was really
packed.
Just kind of in one spot.
Yeah. So the bar was in the center of the roof and everybody was around the bar and he was in the bar and that was the only way that he could, and he barely got around it all.
Well, yeah, he's a big fucking guy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but there's just also a whole bunch of people there that,
but I mean, like, he's old, really old. He has a hard time walking anyway. Like if you see him, like he had a really hard time walking around. I'm like, what did he do? Was there a chair for him or was he just standing the whole time?
No, he stood there. He gave his whole performance, gave his whole thing. And
he talked about it on where did I saw him on, what's it called? Why am I spacing on what I watched him talking on? Continuing with all your on a Pat McAfee show is where I saw him interview recently, and he was talking that he could stand, but he just can't. He can't. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So, and I got another
picture.
one that
you got him actually the picture of him actually signing it. That's sick, dude.
Yeah. So it's proof. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, and I also got one where he's looking at the camera and all that. I can't. I'm ripping these off Facebook right now.
Yeah, so it's all good.
But yeah, but that's
Are you putting them on your Instagram or something?
No, I put them on Facebook. I did put them on Instagram. I put them on the Blood Scribe Creations Instagram.
Well, that's all I was getting at is like tell the people where they can go to see the stuff and follow you.
Oh, if you want, I have so many friggin' profiles. Yeah, you can go to just at Blood Scribe Creations. You can go to there on Instagram and you can see the other pictures and stuff like that. But that's my production company. That's where the horror movies and stuff are. So, so that's
super
fun,
so dude.
And yes, Wolfbane says, "Do I detect a slight change in Remark's voice tonight?" Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds gone.
It wasn't from drinking too much, which I mean, I did drink quite a bit, but I'm a professional alcoholic, so it's okay. But no, it's from, I've been dealing with allergies.
Hey, we're all adults around here. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm not embarrassed.
You're the one killing your own liver. Like, nobody should.
It's my liver to kill.
Yeah.
No, but I've been dealing with allergies for the past 3 days. So,
yep. Like my voice
that's what that is.
Dude, I did the live stream last night and then I just shot a video and like I can still talk okay, but like I can feel the allergies like this, how glands swell up and stuff from allergies. Yeah, this side is like super sore and hurting.
I know
when I'm losing my voice later.
I know when I'm gonna get an allergy attack when I feel the scratchiness in my throat from the drainage of my sinuses.
Yeah, because just like out here, it's basically springtime now. Like a lot of people are still dealing with winter, but if you're in California or Florida, this is spring.
Yeah.
Lots of pollen from plants that are not meant to grow here. Yep. Plants that are not meant to grow here, so they fuck you up.
Nightingale says watching this podcast while sick will feel better. Nightingale, sorry about that. Wolfbane doesn't want us to give any way from Ash because he hasn't seen it yet. Well, we'll give you our opinions and we'll tell you it's divided.
If you watched my video today, I did talk about it for like 3 minutes in that video. So if you've already seen that, Wolfbane, we're not going to talk about anything beyond what you hear and saw in that. So
Jobit says that pick brings back some memories. What did you? Why did you meet Mr. Sacco before?
Dude, that was my era of wrestling. I just got back into it. Like I just recently got back into it, but like that was my era. I was like from basically all of Hogan's career up into the Attitude Era. It was like
the Attitude Era is when I loved Hogan. The Attitude Era was when I started. It was slightly before. It was WCW and NWO, and then throughout the Attitude Era, and that's when I stopped watching. That was me. Ralph says DJ started like Hogan. I didn't sell you guys out, huh?
I started like in the late 80s, like with Hogan and Roddy Piper and like all those guys. There was the cartoon. I was super into the WWF cartoon and stuff.
James says Dark Side of the Ring just talked about that Hell in a Cell fight. Yeah, it's the most iconic. It's one of the most iconic.
I watched
fights.
That. Yeah, I just started getting back into wrestling, dude. It's good again, man.
Yeah,
like especially Raw, hey, you know dude. Like I checked out SmackDown and it's okay, but the wrestlers definitely seem a little more like the B League on SmackDown, whereas like some of the wrestlers will go back and forth to both of them, but most of the best wrestlers and the most fun storylines are all on Raw. Like, dude, it's on Netflix. I recommend it. It's really fun, man.
Well, I'll watch it again. And
what's cool is because it's on Netflix, you can go back and watch all the episodes. Like Raw's got, or Netflix has, them all backlogged. So
nice. And Miss Diana Prince is very into wrestling, and I'm very into Diana.
But she's
Prince,
into WCW.
And well, she's into
not WCW. ECW.
ECW,
right?
Yeah. Same thing though. It's just hardcore.
Yeah. I tried to watch the other one, the AEW, or I don't know. I tried to watch that because that isn't that the one she's into? AEW or
I thought it was ECW. I'm such a fan of hers.
There's another one of AEW.
No, it's. I think it's ECW that she's into. Oh my god, let's find out.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's separate ones. Because AEW is what's on HBO, and I tried watching that, but like I don't know, man, it just feels like a cheap ripoff of WWE.
I think it is the AEW. It is the AEW.
I haven't watched that much of it yet, so it's not like I could fully judge it, but just like the little bit that I watched of it, I was like, this doesn't have the same, I don't know, the same impact. Like they're just WWE, they're just so good at marrying the music and the excitement with the wrestlers' look and all that. It's like it's not even about the wrestling. It's just the music, the way they look, their attitude and all that. That's what makes it really fun right now on Raw.
Just so long as it's still a machismo soap opera.
Yeah.
That's the formula. Sage is asking Kanan, did you find that rogue nose hair yet?
I don't know. I took out a few of them, but it's not a nose hair. It's a mustache hair that goes and pokes inside of my nose.
Oh, that sucks.
And so I had to go there like with the tweezers and was like trying to get the little ones that are right at the edge of my nose. And it does feel better today, but I'm almost positive there's still going to be some that are going to mess with me.
Ultimate Warrior and British Bulldog were Bryce's heroes.
Oh, hell yeah. Right there with you. It was all about wrestling, WWF wrestling, and G.I. Joe, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That was so much fun.
Slack Wolf Vampiro says, I started in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm a diehard wrestling fan since I was a little boy, and I grew up with Hulk Hogan and Yokozuna. I love wrestling. Also Rob Van Dam and Brock Lesnar and Bray.
Well, Yokozuna, isn't it Yokozuna whose sons are like two of the most dominant in WWE right now? Isn't that
I don't know.
Or who is their dad? I know it's one of the big dudes. The damn it, what is her name? I'm spaced on their name. It's like my favorite wrestler right now. The guy that goes yeet. Is there anybody currently watching wrestling?
I don't know. Chat. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Wolfbane says Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. No, dude. Darcy the male girl. The male girl.
She's awesome.
She's got big old boobies.
Yeah, I adore her.
Yeah,
I actually met her. She was fantastic in person.
Oh,
too.
I'd love to meet her. She seems
She's
so
like
fucking cool.
Dude, she's exactly what you see like in person.
Ah,
Like I saw her backstage interacting with people, like where it wasn't like there's a difference when you meet someone and they're in front of fans or when they're just being themselves.
yeah.
You know, I saw her and Joe Bob and they were eating lunch and like just chilling and chatting with people in like the backstage area because I was there with my friend and stuff. And like same exact like what you expect from her. She's just literally sweet, exact same personality, like, you know. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Jobit says, I remember having a D-Generation X t-shirt. Nice. Bryce says, have you guys watched
Uso? Yeah, the Uso brothers. Who's their dad? Wasn't their dad Yokozuna or something like that?
I'm not that far into chat
Because Jay Uso and his brother, they're twins. Jay's the cooler one. I forget the other one. It's Jay. He's on SmackDown. Jay is on Raw. But
Bryce is asking if we watched the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix yet.
Yeah,
I have not watched it yet.
I did.
I just watched the I just watched the McFoley one, and I just watched the one on Stone Cold. I gotta get to the one, the Vince McMahon one.
Dude, it's crazy. It like makes you look differently at that era, man. He's such a slimy piece of shit, dude. But he's also a genius, man. Like, yeah,
he
Jimmy
is a
Uso.
genius. Vince McMahon is
Jay and Jimmy Uso.
Vince McMahon is a genius. You can't deny that.
But
my brother bought me a Stone Cold throw just the other day. Hank, bro, what are you doing?
Knight and Widow. Who is their dad?
Okay. The Limited Stride says, my brother bought me a Stone Cold throw just the other day. Rednecks up my house nicely. Nice. Very nice.
Hell yeah.
Ralph says, I love wrestling, but just something about this new stuff looks so fake. Oh, no.
It's one of those, like, it's always been this way where if you're not into it, it takes a little bit for you to be able to, like, be okay with it again. It's hard to explain. Like,
yeah.
Because if you're not into it, it looks fake as shit, but it always has.
Yeah. Right.
But it's always one of those things, like, once you got to know the stories. Once you start to know who the characters are, and like the whole thing with Cena and his heel flip, dude, that whole storyline is amazing. Like, it's been so much fun to watch, dude. It's so good. And Cody Rhodes is like the perfect guy to be like the baby face going up against a heel John Cena. It's like a great matchup of the two. It's so fun.
Jobit says,
they brought back a lot of guys. Like there's a lot of guys from back in the Attitude Era and stuff that are still involved. Like now that Vince McMahon is completely out of the picture, dude, it's so much better.
Yeah, because Triple H is running it now, right?
Yeah, him and his wife, which is she doesn't run anything. She's still involved, but she doesn't run anything. But still, he's married to what's her name, Vince McMahon's daughter,
Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, they have like 3 kids.
Oh man, she's so hot.
She was.
Jobit says, I think the
lady
Ultimate
now,
Warrior.
But she's super hot.
Jobit says, I think the Ultimate Warrior was my first wrestling crush. Leslie says, I love big sexy Kevin Nash. Got to eat breakfast with him once.
Yeah, she met Kevin Nash. All right, we can't just sit in here and do wrestling talk all night.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get.
Well, we have a hard out.
I know.
So if we're gonna talk about, we need to get talking about Ash out of the way, and then whatever happens. But like at least get some of the reason, because the thumbnail, so to speak, like people are here to. It looks like Saw is back on. That is some news.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yes. So, all right. So we'll start with that. We'll start with that. Let me.
But did you find the actual story?
Yeah, I found the story.
Okay, cool. I'll talk about it after you read it then.
All right. So
sorry, guys. It's not that we don't want to talk wrestling. It's just we only have an hour. It's like now we have what, 40 minutes left? Yeah,
we got to get out of here. Okay. Billy, this is from Bloody Disgusting. Billy the Puppet warns the game is never over for Saw franchise. This is from Bloody Disgusting. Lionsgate has pulled Saw 11 from its release schedule and put The Strangers Chapter 2 in its place, but the Saw franchise's killer mascot, Billy the Puppet, I also didn't know that his name was Billy the Puppet, has issued. I never knew that. I never knew.
Dude, I have him. Where is he?
I just didn't know he had a name. All right, let me get through this. While you find it, Billy the Puppet has issued an amusing warning via THR. Coming off of a very successful 10th installment, Saw 11 was set to release September 26, 25, but turmoil behind the scenes left the fate of the franchise hanging in the balance. But horror icons never die, and rarely do their franchises either. That's supported by a statement from Saw's pint-sized icon, who all but vows that the franchise will continue in some form. Billy the Puppet via Lionsgate
didn't like vow shit. He just tweeted it.
Billy the Puppet via Lionsgate told THR, "I've seen the rumors. They say it's game over. You all should know me better than that. The game is never over." Saw 10 director Kevin Gruder was set to return to helm Saw 11. Fellow franchise alum Marcus Dustin co-wrote the script with creative partner Patrick Melton and previously teased an angry sequel. We're writing 11 right now, and Kevin Gruder is returning to direct. He said that's one where it's got something new to say, and it's angry. Melton previously hinted at the infighting of THR and where the sequel might head. Saw 11 may or may not be made, but we have a very timely story in it. So anyway, so we have an official mascot saying that it might not
but
be,
I mean,
it may not be dead.
Okay, like you would have had to have been you would have had to have been slow in the brain to think that Saw was actually gone forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Like, yeah, it may be years, but we'll definitely at some point get more Saw movies. The things I'm hearing from different sources I've heard rumors and this and that, is that Blumhouse tried to buy it. That deal fell through, but there's rumors that there could possibly be a new thing going on with someone buying it. Or they could be coming to some kind of an agreement on like what they're going to do going forward, but they just don't want people to like completely give up on it, so to speak. Like they're still trying to get something out, like maybe next year or something like that. So they just want to keep the Saw going a little bit, and that's why they tweeted that out. This is what I'm hearing, because like they are still in negotiations. They're still trying to sort things out. They definitely don't have any. Prop dude, I saw you message me. I haven't had a chance. I have a crazy busy day today. Haven't had a chance to read what you messaged me yet, but I'll definitely get back to you.
Okay. Let's see. So, all right, we're all still talking about wrestling in the chat. So let's go to our next little bit of news before we talk about Ash. Last week? Last week you and I talked about Dave.
What is this? Hold on. Let Billy go. He's tired. He's a doll. He's never tired.
Yeah, he's never tired. So last week I think we talked about Dave Bautista doing a Gears of War.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, he's not going to do it.
But I don't think that was last week. I think it was like the week before last.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, we have some video evidence of him saying that. I clicked the wrong thing. Hang on.
But when is that from? Like, I was wrong. Like, I'll admit it. But like, I still wonder when he said that he would be interested in making that movie, like making a Gears of War.
I don't know, but we're gonna watch this.
Start an online thing about freaking.
Why is there no? What's going on?
What? I can hear it.
I can't hear it. You could hear that.
That's
you could
weird.
hear when they were talking.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it.
Chat, can you hear it when he was talking? Yeah, I could hear it just fine until you paused it. He said, "Get online and something freaking," and then it paused.
All right. Well, I'll. Oh my God, this is showing my whole friggin' Facebook. How do I? Whatever.
Gears of War. Like,
Let's
come on,
do it.
Netflix.
Dude.
Or come on already.
I mean, everybody's been fan casting you that for years. They're dropping the ball on it all the time.
Dude, it's not like I'm not badgering them.
Okay, let's get going. Gears of
start a
War, live
petition.
action.
Come on, Netflix, get it together.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Hey.
I think
Start an online thing.
it's repeating. I think I was thinking Gears of War is like an action character, had to be all buff again and stuff. But I don't think he would have to be, and I think that's probably why, he's still interested in doing it, because it's not like something he would have to get super big for. I was thinking, but like seeing the character that
super big for it either.
Yeah,
but I mean, he'd have to work out a little bit, but I didn't think he would have to get ripped.
Well, no, he's still in super good shape. He's just not big anymore. He stopped basically taking the roids, like HGH and the roids and stuff. Like,
okay, well, sorry, Chad.
All these celebrities take, like, anybody that thinks that any of your action stars are not on stuff when they shoot these movies, you are on crack. Like Hugh Jackman, all of them. None of them are natural. That's how they are able to like Ryan Reynolds. It's how they're able to super fast get into like crazy shape in like, couple months and do a movie. And then that's why they always get super small afterwards.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that more people don't realize like that's the case. And that's the only thing I was talking about, is because he has said he doesn't want to be typecast as like an action, he wants to be able to do other stuff. He wants to be a real actor.
Yeah, but I understand. But yeah, but
that sounds like a passion project for him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like something that he just thinks would be super fun.
And I'd go see it. I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the writer, I guess. Okay, so we both saw Ash. It's this sci-fi horror movie that came out this week or last Friday, right?
Yeah.
Last Friday. Came out last Friday.
Well, I saw it I saw it early, but yeah.
Well, I saw it when it released.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be dropping a video about it tomorrow. But
hold on, chat. So hold on. Before he talks about it, I want to see, by a show of hands or by comments or whatever, who thinks he liked it, who thinks he didn't like it.
Okay,
we'll give you a minute to see who.
F's in the chat if DJ did not like Ash.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a mini poll because I don't think we can put polls.
If you liked it, what would it be? So a P. So if you like it, if you think he liked it, put a P. If you think he didn't like it, put an F.
we got.
And I loved it. I think it's phenomenal, but I also realize it's a very small movie. It's a very small budget. It's limited on its scope. It's limited on what it can do. It's also a visual movie. It's very much like a painting. It's not a story type of movie. There is a story, but it's not like a super complex one. It's mostly about like the special effects, the visuals, like the look of it.
So we got one.
Is there anybody? Is there?
Limited.
I said P. What's H stand for?
I don't know. Okay, well, no P's.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody thinks you'll like it.
Nobody thinks I liked it. Okay. I would then what I would ask is, why don't you think I liked it? But we won't do that. We'll see if we'll see if they agree. So do you want to say why you liked it first, or do you want me to go into mine?
Well, I talked about it last week and in the video today. I'll talk more about it, but in response to what you have to say. So I want to hear what you had to say about it first.
So visually great. I loved the spacesuit design. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I liked the lighting that they used. I liked the set pieces.
I thought, like I said, it had a Mandy kind of feel to it, like the way.
Yeah, and I thought the music was also awesome. I loved the soundtrack.
I've been bumping the soundtrack, and that's what the Flying Lotus is who made it, and that's what he's known for, is music.
Right, he's a
and
producer.
Yeah, and he did the. Well, no, he's a DJ. Like,
yeah, they're also known as producers. It's not movie producer, like music producer.
Yeah. But
it's
he's
different.
But when you say producer, the thing is he also has made music videos for other people, including himself.
Right.
So like he's more than anyway, yeah, he makes music, he makes videos, he makes, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was all great. Story and character, not there. The story gets dumber the longer the movie goes. There is no logical connection between why she wakes up with amnesia and why because, and that's not a spoiler, and why the events took place. And I think
Hold on, you totally missed something in the movie then.
No, I guarantee you I didn't. Or if I did, it's because the movie is so confused by its own
super
story.
confusing. It's
not
confusing.
It's not confusing. It's confused by its own story. It doesn't know what story it was telling, and it admitted it.
I don't think that. I think it's just a very confusing way that it's put together.
At the end of the second act, they go into a recap. They're like, all right, look, we know that we just told this weird, like, we know that we haven't answered any questions. We're just going to tell you what happened and completely waste your time for the first 45 minutes of the movie. So this
it does what a lot of movies have been doing forever,
because this recap is already
it does like a Usual Suspects thing where at the end, or the movie Clue, at the end, it shows you these are the things that happened that led us to here. This is the stuff that happened that she's not remembering because she gets her memory back. It does that kind of thing with it. That's an age-old thing, dude. It's been done for a long time.
And it was done very poorly. The characters themselves are all dumb. Aaron Paul's character is the only smart one. And
there's literally two characters.
Stupid reason why he's smart. Well, and that's my other complaint. There's two characters in this movie. The rest of the characters are completely pointless and should have been left out.
Well, like, they literally are just simply a placeholder of like, hey, this is the crew. Like it is not trying to make you know who any of them are. They're not part of the story.
There's no spoilers, Wolf. Don't worry. We're not spoiling anything. I promise.
No, there are huge spoilers to this movie though. So like be careful on who you watch and listen to, because like there's a lot that happens in the final act of this movie. And like I personally think the final act of the movie makes the movie. My only problem with the movie is I felt like it was kind of slow and confusing through the first two acts. And it was like just an okay, like I'm like, okay, this is all right. There's cool mystery to it. It looks cool music. But it was the final act that I thought made it really fucking cool.
Nothing is earned. The what they try to present to you doesn't make sense at the end. And then they just wrap it up with this thing that was like, all right, well, what's something really cool and action-packed that we can do to just end this fucking thing? And then they did that. And it's like, the longer you watch this, that's what I was saying. Like, in the beginning, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, what's going on? What is this? This is cool. I like this mystery, blah, blah, blah. And then they start to show you, and you're like, that's kind of dumb. All right, let's see where they go with this. That's dumber. Are they just going to keep trying to out-dumb themselves with this?
Well, no, because
whatever's going on
movie,
here?
You get flashes, you get bits and pieces of what has happened here.
What this movie is it's Alien, Event Horizon, and what was the third movie I said? Crap, hang on. Let me just give me 10 seconds. It is.
I thought of Mandy, like it had that real
Pandorum.
No,
I thought it was. I thought it was
Pandorum
was Event
fun,
Horizon and Pandorum just smashed together, and they were unapologetic about it. They were like, here's the alien scene, here's the Event Horizon scene, here's the Pandorum scene. Like this, like it was just like, it was kind of shameless how they took that stuff from all three of those movies and just smashed it all together, which I'm not saying on its face is a bad thing. I think Alien and definitely Event Horizon are two great sci-fi movies, especially Event Horizon being a sci-fi horror movie, to pull from. You know, I think it's only
like Alien in the fact it's mostly only like Alien in the fact it's just a very small isolated event with limited characters and like,
well,
it's that a and small kind of movie. I don't agree. Like I feel like third act. I feel like yes, there are pieces of those, but I feel like it's not a perfect movie. This is a movie that's, it's a really small movie that's going to go to, Shudder. You got to go into it. Like going into it and comparing it and like expecting it to be like one of those iconic movies, like you mentioned.
I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't read
I mean,
anything. about this
Pandorum,
movie.
I don't agree because I Pandorum is not that great of a movie. Like I think this is better than Pandorum. And Pandorum has a massive budget, and I still think this is better. Like characters are more interesting in this. I thought what's her name? The lead actress, Evie, it's like Evie something. Anyway, I thought she was great in it. And I thought Aaron Paul was awesome in it.
Aaron Paul was the best. She was fine. Aaron Paul was the best. Everybody else was met to just downright.
There's
terrible.
literally no, there's
captain,
like
the captain was awful.
Dude,
He
there's
was
like
so-
maybe 5 minutes with the other people. Like
So
they're
what?
not-
That doesn't mean-
you're making it
So
sound
what?
like they're
Like,
actual
so
characters
what?
in the movie. They're
That doesn't
not.
mean that doesn't mean the acting is good because you spend 5 minutes with the character. And that's
Dude,
my
it's like
critique.
talking
These
like you're
characters
literally
don't
you're
belong.
critiquing the background of the Mona Lisa. is
No,
what
I'm
you're
not.
doing.
No,
Yeah,
this
you
is a
are. That's
character.
all they
This is
are.
This is
They're
somebody
not-
you cast
Dude,
in a
they're not
role.
characters.
This is an actor.
You hear their names.
They're either a
you hear
good
their-
actor or they're a bad
you
actor.
only see them interact in that dinner scene in like the very beginning of the movie. They're
And
not
the
in the
end,
rest of
and
the movie.
and the wraparound story.
But it's like minute, like
the
barely,
short
dude.
film that they had to put at the end of the second act to be like, here, this is what we're actually trying to say.
But it's not
because
trying to
you don't know how
tell
to
you
tell the
anything
story.
about those people, like at
Okay,
all.
dude,
They're
But that's
Like,
not.
they're
that's
not
an excuse
characters
for
in the
bad
movie.
acting. That's not an excuse for bad acting.
no, that's budgetary.
No, that's bad
Yeah,
casting,
no,
bad
that's
acting,
a budget.
bad
That's a budget
directing, which is
situation.
what this
They
movie
had
did.
the money to afford the two leads, and those other people. One was played by the director. You know,
I know.
They're really small. They have basically not even characters in this movie. And yes, I agree, their acting's not great, but they're barely in this movie, and that's a budgetary reason. Like that's what happens when you're talking about indie movies. That's why you
But that
can't
doesn't leave
judge
them
a
free
little
from
tiny indie
critique.
movie like this like you would a fucking Alien movie, and you're
that doesn't
acting
leave them.
like this
None of this is an
$250,000 movie. You're comparing it to a $40 million Event Horizon, you know, a multi, like one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Alien. Most people think it is the greatest, you know, sci-fi horror movie. Like that's just so not fair, dude. Like that's what drives me crazy about your when you critique movies is it's like you have to put things in the right places. You can't put everything to the same bar. You don't have the kind of budget. It's like when your movie comes out, if people watch it and are expecting it to be on the level of like a $50 million movie, it's like, that's not fucking fair.
Okay, but that does not mean that they can't critique my movie or any other movie that has bad acting.
I'm not
in it.
saying you shouldn't critique it. I'm just saying,
So
like,
then what are you arguing about? I'm saying the acting
you
is
focus
bad,
so
and you're
much
like,
on
well,
the
it's
on the little negative. Like, there's little negative things that you like really focus on when you say a movie's not good. Like,
okay.
it's one thing to
I
say
brought up
a movie.
Kanan.
It's
I
like
brought
I'll
up the
say
acting
I'll
at
say
the
it's good. I'll
end-
recommend it,
end of
and then
my
I'll talk
critique.
about.
My critique.
Yeah, but you said overall it's a
started-
bad movie. When I asked you what you thought of it, you're like, it's a bad movie. Like
Yeah,
that was
it
your
is.
first. But that's my point. It's like you take these little problems with it, like the acting of 4 characters that are in it for a total of 5 minutes, and like
I'll
these
read
are
you
your
my review.
flaws.
I'll
These
read
are
you my
your
review,
flaws,
and you can
you
count
say
how
overall
long
it's a bad movie. It's like
I'll
dude.
read you my review, and you can count how long I spend on the acting and how long
is
I
a
spend.
movie
How
out.
much time?
There is a movie out right now that I actually think you will like. I think you would actually give good a review to it. It's
Well, tell me, I
called
wanna
The
see it.
Assessment.
Where is it in the theater?
It's you'll be able to find it, but might have to drive for it. It's a little bit limited
fine.
or a limited release, but holy shit, it's good, dude. It's got Alicia Vikander, who was the robot in Ex Machina. The girl robot in Ex Machina.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that movie.
she's in it, and the chick that's the Red Witch in Marvel. What's her name? What's that actress's name? Olsen.
know.
Elizabeth.
I'm
Is it
not gonna-
Elizabeth Olsen?
Oh,
I think
Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah. And it's a very small movie, but it's fucking gorgeous, dude. Like it's so well shot, you know, meticulously done, very well done movie, but it's not exactly really horror. I put it in today's video, but it's more of a dark drama, like a dark sci-fi drama thriller. It's one of those like a mashup of multiple different types of genres. But
yeah, no. If I
So
can find it,
fucking
I'll definitely watch it. I'll definitely do that. But
and
yeah, no, when it
Locked,
comes-
Locked is
but-
another one that's incredible. And I'm not saying Ash is incredible. I just think for a Shudder release kind of movie, most people are gonna have a good time with it. For one, we just don't get that many sci-fi horror movies, dude. And it's great to have one that actually has some really cool visual effects, special effects, especially in the final act.
I just don't know why I don't know why it's okay to excuse a bad movie just because we're lacking in what type of movie it is. I don't know why people think
to me, I just don't think it's a bad movie. I think it is a good movie that's flawed, like a lot of indie movies.
Yes, and the flaws are deep and they're mostly in story and character. I praised everything else around this movie. The visuals
But I
are
think
great.
I think
music
her
is great.
character, which is the 99% of the movie, is her. I think her character is good. Like her dialogue, his dialogue,
so
their
I can-
interactions. That's 90%
All right,
of
I
the
can
movie.
pick that apart if you want. So her character is supposed to be the audience, the surrogate for the audience, but she's supposed to be a botanist, right? But then she knows how to do all of this other stuff because there's so much other just convenient things. So like when the annoying computer voice
No, hold on.
announces
That's real. Like real astronauts have to be able to do all the stuff. Like in the real world, like real astronauts can do everything. They have to know how to do everything. They'll have one specialty. That's their like main job. It's just like being in the military, right? Like if you're a radio operator in the military, you're still going to know how to fight, how to shoot a gun. You're still going to know how to do all this shit that's in that area. Like a sniper can do all of the stuff, but their specialty is being a sniper.
A sniper's
And
not
like-
going to know how to drive a tank.
Astronauts will know how to do everything that is a part of their mission. Like that is
Okay.
Like that
All
is
right.
actually pretty accurate.
Fine.
I thought,
I'll
in the
give you
movie.
that. Fine. I'll give you that. Okay, whatever. But her character is also just kind of blank because
Well,
she has
'cause she is.
amnesia.
She's got amnesia.
And
But as the movie goes, you start to see
and then
more
it
and more
ends,
of her
and she doesn't get
personality.
it. But then it ends. But then the movie ends. We don't get anything after that. It's just like, and the ending itself is just like, oh, okay, so she's just gonna. I mean, we're not gonna spoil, but like the movie ends, and you're just like, why did I just watch this? But listen, man, I've praised everything else about the movie. I thought visually it was.
But that's what I mean when you have that much positive, and then but you say overall it's a bad movie. That's what I'm talking about.
It is.
But like it's not. You just said you praised all of this stuff. That's a big chunk of the movie. The visuals are a massive part of this movie in particular. That is the number one thing. Like as a filmmaker, that is his expertise, and that is the biggest thing in this movie. It's like Mandy. Like the main thing about Mandy is the audio and the visuals.
Okay. So movies are visual storytelling, right? You get the visuals and you get the storytelling.
But they're on
That's half
different.
and half.
But sometimes
get-
they're.
If you get
weighted
half of that
differently.
right, that means you got half of it wrong. It's a 50%
But it's not half.
F.
But it's
on a
not half.
test.
Some filmmakers do. Some filmmakers, it's kind of a 50-50, right? But then there's a movie like The Assessment where, like I was just talking about, where the story and the characters are like 70% of what's there. You know, or there's tons of movies like that where like the whole entire movie, what's that one where like 90% of the movie, they're just in one room, two characters in one room.
Okay, but if
It's
you're
like
going to do
the
that,
visuals
listen,
don't matter at all. It's all about the story character. This is a movie that's like the opposite. It's like 70% visuals and mood and atmosphere,
so then why?
30% story, characters.
So then why?
You know,
Then why are you trying to write a difficult story? The plot breakdown that happens in the second act, you know what I'm talking about? They should have just made that the story. Just do that. It's a simple ABC plot line. And just do that. Don't have this weird convoluted mystery.
I'm not saying that it's not flawed. Like I agree with you. I feel like they came at it. Like I said, I felt like it was confusing, the way they wrapped it up was hasty. It was like they didn't give you time to
Yeah.
figure out what was going on. It was just like bam, bam, bam. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, when I critique a movie, so to speak, or when I look at a movie as a whole, I'm like, well, 70% of this movie is the visuals, the audio, the way it makes you feel. Okay. 30% of it is story and characters. So then out of that 30%, if I take issue with 10 or 15% of that, it's like, yeah, that part is flawed. Like maybe 15% of that is not good. That's still only 15% of the entire movie. So like, I wouldn't say that's a bad movie. It's like if I were to give it a 1 out of 5, that's like a 3.5. You know what I mean? Maybe even 4.
Okay, I'm just different.
But it's like when you say bad, it's like, that's why I say you're such a harsh critic, because it's like a movie has to be almost perfect for you to be like,
no, it does not have to be almost perfect. It has to be tonally consistent, and it has to make sense within the logic of the story you're presenting to me.
But you focus so much on the story that you miss out on all of the other part of what makes it.
I don't think I missed out. I think I enjoyed the visuals quite a bit.
I'm enjoyed when you were writing like when someone reads or watches you, you're recommending or not of a movie or whatever, you don't give hardly any weight to all of the other things besides the story. So if someone were to take you on face value, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, I'm not going to go fucking see that movie. He makes it sound like it's shit. But it's like, if they're like me, they love the visuals, the audio, the special effects, like 90% of what this movie is, that's fucking cool. They're missing out. Now they're going to miss out on that movie.
I mean, okay, but I don't think there's
I'm not
enough
saying
of that in it.
But like, it's because I look
like if you don't want to watch, I critique
movies on different.
I know we're lagging
bowls. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I would say Alien Romulus does a better job doing that than what Ash does.
Holy shit, dude! You can't compare this to fucking Alien Romulus, like $80 million movie made by a super expert
Alien
filmmaker.
Romulus is about the visuals. It's about that. That's what they were. They
wanted a big blockbuster, like made by like big time shit, dude. This is not that. If this was a wide release $80 million movie, then yes, I would be more critical on it. But like, I also am aware, like, dude, you got to be self-aware, dude. You're going into a tiny budget indie movie. This was made on less than $1 million, dude. That is a tiny, tiny budget. You can't compare it to that. It's not fair. It's a much smaller story and production. It's like a totally different can of worms. It's like when I critique your movie, I'm not comparing it to a fucking big wide release movie that's written by like this master filmmaker and shot by this guy. And you can't, because then you're going to be like, well, that's a pile of shit.
Do it, coward.
It's just not fair.
All right, fine.
And I
won't compare it to Alien Romulus.
But you also have to look at them and like take the different kind of situations, so to speak, where it's like, if I'm watching the movie, The Assessment, right, where its majority is about the characters and story. So like 70-80% of that movie is that. If there's like half of that that's bad, then I'm going to like, dude, this movie's bad. Cause like, that means that 40 to 50% of this movie is not good. Right. But if I'm looking at a movie like Ash, cause like Locked is another one of those, right, where it's an amazing movie, dude, but it's all about the acting and all about the tension, suspense of the dialogue. There is not a lot that happens. The guy is locked inside of an SUV. So it's like they do a lot with it, a lot more than you would expect. But even still, it's like the movie Saw, where it's still like the majority of what happens is this one location. And it's just two characters talking. But it is so good and you're so riveted to it. But when a movie like that, if they had one character that's bad or poorly written or the dialogue's bad, dude, that movie's not good, because that's such a huge component of that kind of movie. But with a movie like Ash, it's basically a moving painting. Like, it is so much about the visuals and audio. So it's like, if the visuals and audio are bad in a movie that's mostly about the visual and audios, well, it's a bad movie. But if
then my
part of it is bad,
then my critique
I'm just
stands.
saying you got to
Write a different story. Write a story that matches what you're trying to do. If all you're
I'm
trying
not
to do
saying
is
you're
show
wrong.
off, is
I'm
show
not
off
saying
your
you're wrong.
spectacle,
I'm just
do
saying
that.
that you, to be a balanced critic, you have to take into consideration other elements and weigh them as well, not just the story. Because then what you're doing is not really being you're not being a real critic. What you're doing is just simply your personal opinion.
That's what my
So it's
critiques are.
But it's different when you write it out or you put it on, like there's a responsibility. Like my opinion isn't my own personal, like for instance, when I give a list of my favorite movies, that's not what I think are the best movies. That's just what my favorite movies are.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
if I'm going to put a list that I
ad
think of the
nauseum.
best, yeah. And it's like, there's a difference there. When someone comes to you and watches your review of something, they're expecting
watching a
it to
review.
be, well, yeah, but they're expecting it to be like you take all the different criteria and all the things into consideration and you're weighing them all and not just simply, did I enjoy this movie? Did I have fun with this movie? Or like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, why are you publishing that? Why are you putting that out there?
Right. Okay. But I have enough history on my channel that if you don't know what I'm like, if you're approaching a review, you need to approach a review like, okay, what does this asshole think? And, and then go to the next one and be like, what does this asshole think? And then derive your own opinion, whether or not it's worth going to see. And then you see and derive your own opinion. And I think I've been crystal on on how I weigh movies. I don't think anybody is confused about what I think is important in a film and what I think makes a good movie versus what I don't. And so I don't know. I guess if you're new to my channel, that could be confusing. But if you've been, if you watched, if you watch 2 of my reviews, then a good one and a bad one, because there are several good.
People are going to be like, this guy he's a negative ass motherfucker and hates movies.
No, they won't. I have
Yeah,
just
they
as
will.
many good reviews as I do negative. I might have a couple more negatives, but I'm also not the
No,
ones.
It's
putting out
because
the
you
bad
focus
movies.
on the negative is what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Like
I
you put
don't.
way more weight on the negative than the positives. You do.
Watch my positive reviews. They're just as
I think-
high as the
I
negative.
think I put too much weight on the positive and not enough on the negative, but that's like, whatever. That's me. Like I try to be I try to
yes, you're overly
be
positive,
fair
I think.
and I say the things, but because of my overall demeanor, people don't take a lot of the negative that I say with
It's
the
okay.
same weight.
That's why we make such a good show. All right. I gotta get out of here. So let's go through some chats.
Yes, please.
James says, I read one review calling Ash Event Borizon. I would agree with that.
Well, that's horseshit. Like for one, yeah, I know. I saw that I think he said that last week. But that's such a bullshit thing to say. You just cannot compare this to Event Horizon. Like that's so not fair.
Nobody's comparing it. What we're saying is that
yeah, you are. If you say Event Horizon, you're
because
literally
you can see where in the movie they're like, this is where we got this from. This is the Event Horizon part. It's so obvious that they're pulling from Event Horizon that if I don't think it would be a mistake to compare it. I agree with you. I don't think you should, but you can definitely tell that they're pulling a lot of influence from Event Horizon.
Yeah, but the problem is when you say that, everybody immediately is going to be like, oh shit, this is an Event Horizon level of a movie. And that's just, it's not fair. Just because it may borrow some ideas from it, it's like, well, yeah, Event Horizon is if you're into space horror, Event Horizon is like one of the, Mount Rushmore movies. Like it's going to be one of the first ones mentioned. Like a lot of people talk shit about it, but regardless, most sci-fi horror fans are aware of it. And, so I just think that's just not fair. That's a movie that cost $40 million back in 2000 or no, what, 90, what was it? 99 or whatever? Like late 90s.
Yeah.
That's literally on the same level as Alien Romulus. That was 80 million last summer. Like you just can't,
let's just get through these.
Not compare. That's just not fair. And so it's like, I just take problem. I take issue with people that put out these opinions because people are going to take you for what you're saying. And I just think that that is ignorant. I'm not saying yours is. I haven't read yours or heard your full, but like that
It's
as your headline,
headline.
that's fucking negative, and that's ignorant statement. That's leading people astray from the jump.
Okay, James says if there's two characters, one of them is smarter. That's usually true.
Well, that's kind of complicated. Without spoiling, you can't get into it because the characters are not exactly always what they appear to be, so to speak. So,
right.
saying
yeah,
one character is
smart.
smarter than the other or whatever, it's like, well, you got to see the movie to understand the reason that is the case.
James also says Alien and Event Horizon crossover could be fun. Make the alien into a demonic race.
But that's all I'm saying with Ash is that it's a fun movie. It's entertaining. It's fun. Like if you're going to film critic it, like I said, it's probably like a 3.5 out of 5.
PJR says, dude, DJ, stop talking over people. PJ, if you've ever talked to Kanan ever, you
Dude,
you have to talk over him.
Yeah, you do. Cause I talk over you all the fucking time.
Yeah. So
like we came to this agreement in the very beginning that it was like, that's just who we are, like how we are.
Yeah.
Like we're just both, and we're good with that.
Unlimited Stride says, I tune in for the arguments. I love it. Clever Cleaver says, so DJ's dissing the plot holes and lack of cohesion connection between scenes. If there are enough of these misstep blunders, it will make a great movie terrible. Yes. Unlimited Stride says, correction, spirited debate. Wolfbane says,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Like, but because that is such a minor thing, it's hard for any of the people in the chat. If you haven't seen the movie, it's hard for them to say if I'm right or you're right or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's not about right and wrong. It's about this is what our opinions are.
But that's what I mean. Like they're not even there. You can't say DJ's wrong without seeing it. Just like you can't say I'm right without seeing the movie either. Like that's my biggest thing. And that's what I take so seriously is that I want more than anything people to give stuff a chance. Like I hate the idea of something I said made a bunch of people not see a movie. Like I got a thank you from Spider One today. Like he did Little Bites.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know who Spider One is? He's Rob Zombie's
step
or what stepbrother or something like that.
Yeah.
Or cousin, maybe cousin. But anyway, yeah, he made a Little Bites and he personally thanked me today on the channel. Like
I haven't seen that yet.
And so like I love that, dude. I don't ever want to be the guy that turns people away from stuff, and especially if it's because I'm painting things in a certain light. Like I would always rather paint on the side of positivity than on the side of negativity, unless it's a situation where it's like definitely a negative fucking thing, and then I'll be like, yeah, fuck this movie. Like all right, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I was like, fuck that movie. All
right, let me speed run through these because I have 2 minutes.
I know.
Before I gotta get out of here. So let me speed run through these. And like,
sorry guys, we're just on a time crunch.
It's okay. Yeah, no, it's all right. it's my fault. I'm on a time crunch. James says DJ isn't making Citizen Kane. I know, surprise. Unless
he could, someday,
I could.
But he needs the resources. Like that's the thing. It's like you have to take into consideration like what you're working with. Like, I don't care if DJ was the greatest writer, director, whatever on planet Earth. Working with the limited resources he is working with, you still have the same cast. And like, no matter how great they do for what their levels are at, they're still like, super local level of actors. You know what I mean? Like you're not fucking getting Tom, Hanks to walk in and do your movie.
Right. Prop Dude says, unless we're talking about an Alien franchise or Predator sequel, I ain't gatekeeping a damn thing. If mildly entertaining, fantastic. Joe says, Freaks 20 was the last sci-fi that stuck with me. Mr. Halloween says, so should I go see Ash in theaters or Shudder? I would just say Shudder. Leslie says, the assessment sounds
if you're gonna go see something in theaters right now and you only really you have money or time to see one, I would go see Locked.
Okay.
Lost is going to be one that people are going to fucking like, it's going to blow up. Like that movie eventually is going to drop on Netflix or something. And everybody's going to be like, holy shit. How do we not see this movie?
Leslie says the assessment sounds like a perfect title for DJ. Seja, bringing you guys to the grocery store again. Yeah. Get us something good.
Woohoo!
James says these two
I'm
could fight
hungry.
over Frankenberry versus Count Chocula. I would be Count Chocula.
Yeah, I would too. So we can't argue over that one.
Yeah,
Frankenberry
so,
sucks, dude.
Wolfbane says
Frankenberry
that's
tastes
true.
like shit.
Astronauts can fly, maybe drive anything. All right, whatever. Fine.
Yep.
I will.
Well, they
yield
have
that.
to because of emergency situations and stuff. They literally have to be able to do each other's jobs to a certain level. Like they have to be, and that's why it takes so long to train for a mission. They're not training individually; like they have to train as a team for missions because everybody's got to be able to do each other's jobs no matter what.
Yeah. I would love to answer this question, Jazzman. Ask us next week because we actually answer this question a lot. Prop Dude says, maybe we are just at this point where we aren't seeing enough new or groundbreaking films. So we argue about the flaws of the played out formulaic stuff. I would agree with that. There's
I don't know. I
less
think
than-
there's plenty of great movies. It's just, dude, we're talking
Yes.
about like tiny little, like this is
Well,
this
hang on.
world's made for TV now. You know what I mean? Like
let me make your argument and mine at the same time. Okay. There are still enough new and groundbreaking films. It's also saturated, and Kanan and people like us watch way more movies than like the normal audiences do. So it probably seems like this, but if you watch a lot of
I mean,
movies,
like I saw
that stuff.
3 movies. I saw 3 movies last week that nobody's seen. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I literally was the only person in the theater for 3 movies. Like I saw,
Well, hang on. Dude,
yeah,
we
the
gotta
new
go.
De
We gotta go.
Niro
I'm sorry,
movie
I'm
that
sorry.
nobody saw. Like,
Yeah. Sage says, I love listening to you guys go back and forth. And then people are talking about a movie called Dark Song. Okay, Dark Song.
Dark
I
Song.
don't know. I'm trying to scroll through all this. Prop Dude, DJ is gonna get me riled up about Romulus. It's the best case for why the bad story and plot holes ruined a beautiful film. I would agree with that. That was basically my critique. 1 million would cover Chris Farley's
Okay,
cocaine bill for his
with-
last movie.
With Romulus, it's what prevented it from being a masterpiece.
It's what prevented it from being even good.
No, bullshit. It's still a
Yes.
good fucking
Yeah,
movie.
no,
It's
not.
just
It's
not a great script or whatever. It's like it's just an okay story and script and all that. It's like if that had been good, that movie would have been like a fucking like a instant classic because the visuals were there.
Hi, Nurse Joy. Good to see you. She says Event Horizon is an epic movie. They should not mess with it. They ruin everything they fiddle with. Remakes, most sequels. Yeah, nobody's remaking Event Horizon, and they definitely should. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why it irritates me to mention it with Event Horizon because people like this movie's not like Event Horizon at all. Like it's very different than Event Horizon. There are certain things that it definitely does that it's like taking from or borrowing from whatever, but like it's not Event Horizon. Like totally different story, visuals. Like I mean, it's not trying to be Event Horizon, and that's what
I
it's-
wonder if I wonder if I
don't
could
like
get Nick
when-
Cage. Sorry, James.
No.
James
'Cause
Hughes
you
says
still
Nick
need-
Cage seems to do
You
every
still
movie
need
he's on.
probably like 30, like 20, 30 grand just for
Yeah, no,
like
it's gonna be a
like
lot.
a cameo.
All right, that takes us. We're over. We are.
You'd
I
be
gotta get out of here.
surprised. Some of the actors though that you can get for cameos, like for literally like $5,000, it's pretty crazy.
You can get what's his name? Danny Trejo for like
Yeah,
you can get him for a napkin deal and a sandwich.
like I mean,
Like, Danny
his name?
Trejo will do
Who am I
anything.
thinking of? Like, there's quite a few of those actors. Like even Tony Todd. Like I've heard he was like $4,000 to $10,000 depending on what the cameo was. Like
Yeah.
there's guys I've heard for like $2,000. They could shoot it from their house. They don't got to go anywhere. Like it's like a 5-minute shoot. They'll like, yeah, I'll do it for $3,000, $5,000, whatever.
Yeah. All right. We got to get out of here. Thanks for
Yep.
this talking,
Thanks,
guys. It
guys.
feels like a quick show because it's an hour and we've been going
Yeah,
over.
we'll
2
do it
hours
longer.
recently, but-
We'll definitely do it longer next week.
Yeah,
Plus, I gave
we'll
you guys a live yesterday for almost 2 hours. So
Yeah, we'll be longer next week. But thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good week. See you this time next week, 7 p.m. Eastern,
no,
4 p.m. on
no,
the
no,
West Coast.
no, different time because it's a different day on Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
7
So
p.m.
if you're
Eastern.
new here, we don't normally do it on Thursdays. It'll be Wednesday.
Right. It's not normally Thursdays. It's normally Wednesdays. Come watch us Wednesdays. Subscribe to the Death Rattle Podcast. See you guys next week. Bye.